Right now it's 6 o'clock. How about this? A plane fell out of the sky in Danbury right into a residential neighborhood. We'll tell you where the investigation stands this morning.
And what you can do to help prevent brush fires from sparking in our state. This after several of them did spark yesterday.
Also, a record high for recreational marijuana sales. We'll break down the numbers. The news at 6 begins right now.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning, sunshine. 6 o'clock on a Tuesday. We hope you're having a great start to your day so far. Another beautiful one this week.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
It's going to get really, really warm. I'm like laughing because I'm getting ready to take a couple of days off, and I'm wishing the pool was open. It's going to be 88 degrees in a couple of days, but I know we're getting ahead of ourselves. Taking a live look across the state here. A beautiful sunrise. It's going to be a beautiful sunrise. It's not up yet, but
it's in the works. It's
there.
Yeah.
In progress.
As
we like to say. Good morning to you both. Nice to have you here. Listen, forecast is looking great around here. We're not free and clear of any of all issues, but I mean, the view behind you looks good. Those cameras we just showed you looking great. So what's the problem? It's another warm by April standards day, but temperatures getting into the 70s. Here's the ish. Dry, low humidity, sunshine, breezes. You put it all together and you get a fire danger out of that. So we're going to talk about that more coming up. Temperatures, they're still growing. We have a lot of room left before we top them out by the end of the week. 39 in Hartford, 37 New Haven, 39 in Groton. The winds are calm. That's a good thing now, but we're going to see those winds start to pick up, a little breeze in the forecast, and that's why that fire danger gets tacked on a little bit. Mostly clear. We showed you like one or two very thin, fair weather clouds in the distance. High pressure beginning to settle out over the Atlantic, over Bermuda. That's that Bermuda high we were talking about, and that's what's going to really pump in the warm air. 41 at the bus stop for the high schoolers. 73 with a couple of clouds later on this afternoon and a dry forecast again. 73, which is nothing compared to where we're going. Wait till you see those numbers. We'll talk about it coming up. Although Tim already gave it up. Thanks, Lammers. Rachel Piscatelli with a look at traffic. She already knows, too, because you're just doing weather for the last couple hours. Good morning to you.
I do know. And if that is your reaction to 73, I can't wait to see your reaction to the other temperatures.
Alert the FCC.
In the 7-day, right? All right, it is 6:02, almost 6:03 here. And we are following one crash over in 84. This is something we've been following because there's been some heavy volume over there because of some road work wrap up as well. But this is going to be on the eastbound side of 84. Right out by exits 18 and 19. DOT website saying that the right lane is blocked at the moment. Unsure if this tractor trailer is involved in that crash. This is out by exit 21, but we have a tractor trailer that is out on that shoulder, so we'll keep you posted on that. Otherwise, you can see some delays from Waterbury exit 18 to 25. You're looking at traffic speeds averaging just around 57 miles per hour. No delays on the westbound side with that road work wrapping up for the morning. We'll have another update for you coming up at 6:30, guys.
Alrighty, thank you, Rachel. Some scary moments for families in Danbury after a plane crashed right into a neighborhood, leaving 2 people hurt.
Yeah, Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live in Danbury with more on what that plane hit when it came down. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning to you both. That plane is still here in that neighborhood this morning. You can kind of see a piece of it behind this house. It crashed into a shed. Now that large piece that you're seeing, that's actually the wing of the plane. It is completely sticking up from where it crashed last night. First responders tell us that it clipped one of the houses in this neighborhood. We're still trying to figure out which one, and then it landed on top of this person's shed and their fence. The owners of this house saying that it was so loud when it crashed, they thought a tree had fallen onto their home. The Danbury Fire Department says just before 6 o'clock last night, they were called to Southern Boulevard for a plane down. When they arrived, they tell us they found a small Cessna that had fallen out of the sky with a man and woman inside. They say it crashed here between those 2 houses, and upon landing, it got very tangled up in that shed and in that fence. Investigators say nobody on the ground was injured, but the 2 people in the plane were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The crash location is a less than than 2 miles from the Danbury airport, but it's unclear whether the plane had been in the process of taking off or landing whenever they went down. And there's currently no word on what exactly caused that crash. We are still waiting to hear more details from the FAA. Hopefully we'll get those within the next couple hours, maybe even a couple days. Unfortunately, we may have to wait a while for those. But coming up in the next hour at 7 o'clock, I am hoping to get you a better look at that damage and at that airplane. Once the sun comes up, we'll really be able to show you a lot down there in that yard. Live in Danbury, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Brooke, thank you for that report. Glad to see nobody died here. That is amazing.
Already 6:05, and this morning, the state's DEEP Fire Control Office says the forest fire danger level for the state, it's high this morning.
And believe me, you can see why. This includes all counties. Yesterday, fire crews in eastern Connecticut weren't dealing with potential fires. They had 2 fires to deal with.
Yeah, so over in the quiet corner of our state, over in Thompson, a large brush fire, take a look here, destroyed a storage barn. It happened on Fabian Road just before 2 yesterday afternoon. Now, no word yet on how it started. Now, that is what Thompson's fire marshal is investigating.
Also in Norwich at Mohegan Park, crews were called to a brush fire just before 12:30 yesterday afternoon. When firefighters got there, they found 2 fires burning. Ultimately, crews from 5 different departments helped to get them under control within an hour and a half. And here's what we know about the damage in that case. It burned just over 6 acres, and crews needed 10,000 gallons of water to put them out. Fire Marshal's office is still looking into how it started. So as we talk about these fires, let's talk about preventing them. There's plenty you can do on that front.
And first up, this one's pretty easy, guys. If you see something, if you see a fire burning, say something. DEEP says you need to stay calm, call 911 and let them know where you saw the fire.
Now, as to preventing them in the first place, DEEP says you should obey local laws regarding campfires. Keep all flammable objects away from fires. Never leave one unattended, and carefully dispose of hot charcoal. And as always, those cigarette butts, don't just flick them out the window. A former high school teacher in Tolland has been accused of sexually assaulting a former student. 43-year-old Chris Coffey was arrested Friday. He's facing several charges. Now, police said the incidents happened 8 years ago, but they didn't come to light until they got an anonymous tip this year. According to an arrest warrant, the student told police she would eat lunch in Coffey's classroom every day, and things escalated eventually into a relationship. Now, Fox 61 spoke with Bridget Kestner with the Connecticut Alliance to End Sexual Violence. She said there are signs to look out for if you have concerns that somebody is either being harmed or is being groomed for abuse.
We often see them targeting a specific individual or a type of individual, and often they'll target people who have a vulnerability. Often we'll see them erode boundaries, so that's another red flag to look out for.
Now, in a letter to the school community, Tolland superintendent said Coffey was placed on administrative leave in February, and then he resigned shortly after that. The superintendent also stressed that counselors are available for students for further support.
Now over to Cheshire, where firefighters rushed to the scene of a camper that caught on fire yesterday morning. Now, this all happening on Scott Road. Firefighters say the fire reached several sheds and a home, but thankfully no one was hurt. Officials say because of the lack of hydrants in the area, an engine from Waterbury and a tanker from Prospect were asked to help out the crews at the scene. And a woman is dead and 2 others hurt after a house fire in Bloomfield. Checking out this scene here. This happened Saturday on Simsbury Road. All 3 people involved lived in the home. The 2 people injured were taken to Bridgeport Hospital's burn unit this morning. The cause of the fire is under investigation. 6:09 now. Recreational marijuana sales hit another record high in Connecticut. In March, the state's Consumer Protection Department says $9.6 million worth of recreational cannabis products were sold, and that's up by more than $2 million from February. The state also saw $12.6 million in medical marijuana sales in March. That was also up by about $1 million from February. Recreational sales began here in Connecticut 3 months ago on January 10th.
A Wisconsin man is facing charges. He's accused of using racial slurs at a fast food worker at Bradley Airport. Investigators said it happened Saturday evening. They said a black woman who works at D'Angelo Grilled Sandwiches told customers that they ran out of bread, so she offered to make them wraps instead. She then told troopers that 38-year-old Michael Barnett swore at her and called her a racial slur. He was released on a bond of $2,500.